Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be going over many stock trade ideas as well as talking about swing trade opportunities, talking about GNS, TMC. You guys really seem to like those stocks. And today there's many stocks that ended up gapping up based off the yesterday's video, right? We talked about many stocks such as GCTK. This one was a micro floater, 400k float. We mentioned it in the video, right? Around $6, and then it ended up just ripping face vertical all the way to 12.29. That's a massive move up. I'm happy if you banked on this name. And this stock was a diabetes type of stock, right? If you remember what I said in the previous video just over the weekend, any stock that has diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, they tend to make really big moves up often, based off my experience as well as the sector, right? Biosector. So GCTK was a monster winner. And next one, AIRE. This one was probably the biggest winner today. It ended up just popping off like 300%. I mentioned the stock multiple times, and the stock was trading at just under 25 cents. It was around 25 cents at market open, and then it went all the way up to almost $1. That's almost a 300. That's like a multiple 100% gain, which is just a monster percentage-wise, right? So some people ask me on Twitter and on my social media, is this stock going to continue higher? And looking at it right now, it's after hours right now, and it looks like the stock had an offering, which is not the best case scenario when it comes to small caps, right? So this stock had a direct offering, and it's a big red candle. Ideally, you want to see over 50 cents if you're bullish on it, but just me being completely 100% honest, I would choose other trade setups rather than this stock, right? Because the pattern doesn't look the best. But when it comes to small caps with this type of volume, it had almost 8 billion volume. Anything is possible. So if you're looking at the stock, I mean, it really is up to your preference, right? What you want to do. But me personally, I would trade something else. So AIRE was a monster winner today. If you look at the average volume compared to the volume it had today, it was just insane, the difference. So that's another thing you really want to remember when you're trading small caps. Always look at the average volume compared to the volume that day, right? Check the relative the volume. So this stock was a really big winner. The next stock, Open. This one, OPEN. Open. This one I mentioned many times, as well as a multi-day setup, and then ended up just popping off all the way up to almost $5. I believe I started talking about this around $1, and then it just ripped face today. It had a blow off top type of move. If you look at the extended time frame, look at the 1 hour chart, it just ended up just exploding. So the thing with these type of stocks is that most people, they think a stock is high, right? I mentioned in the previous video, when it comes to small cap, usually what ends up going higher goes higher, what ends up going lower goes lower. And that's one of the golden rules when it comes to trading small cap. Because if you remember yourself, when you're trading, when was the last time you thought a stock is too high, right? And then it goes higher. And when was the last time you thought a stock was a good dip where it just kept going lower? This happened to me as well, where it's just basic human psychology as well as small cap pattern recognition, where a stock, you think it's at the top, but it just goes higher and higher and higher. So this is why I always emphasize that volume and price action is number one when it comes to trading small caps rather than other factors, right? So just look at how the stock is acting, the price action, and then just follow it, in my opinion, rather than formulating opinion or belief, right? So that's just my opinion. And if you're watching the video, I appreciate if you like the video, comment down below. It takes only a few seconds and it's free. So next stock, DEVS. Devs. This one was a monster winner as well. I mentioned it around, I think, 50 cents, and then it just popped off to over $1. And this is a perfect example of a penny pop type of action. I remember in my previous video I said that pennies are one of my favorite type of stocks to trade. And what do you know, today a lot of pennies just ended up ripping face, right? So this is a low float stock. And on top of that, the volume, what I mentioned just 2 minutes ago about the volume compared to the average volume, it just exploded. So DEVS, I did not even check the news for the stock. The main reason I liked it was how the volume was just acting kind of unordinary, right? Once I see unusual type of volume, I like to mention it to you guys. And if you see my trade ideas, I do my very best to mention a stock as soon as I see it. I don't do it where some people where they share trade ideas, and these people also charge, I believe, right, for premium alerts. They say it hours after the stock, right? But they see the stock, but I'm telling you, I see as soon as I see it, I try to mention it, so you guys have the most opportunity to bank, as well as the most profit potential, right? Think about it. If you see a stock early compared to later, a couple hours later, the difference is massive. You're talking like 100-200% difference. So yeah, I'm just trying to help guys. So DEVS was a good one. Next one, SABS, SAPS. This one mentioned around 350. Again, it was early play, pre-market play. I shared a trade idea starting 7:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but the stock just ended up popping off today after the open. If you look at the chart right now, it's just beautiful chart from 350s all the way to 660. That's over a $3 gain, and we're talking about just an hour. So this is why I share trade ideas every day. This is why I make free videos, just to motivate people, inspire people, because this is just amazing, guys. You know, you're capturing these type of moves, even just one trade a day. One trade a day, catch something like this, you know, it's huge. So this was a monster. And if you have any other stocks you're bullish on, guys, write down in the comments, or DM me or tag me, and I'll check it out. Maybe might make a video on it. So next stock today went crazy was AMIX. This one I mentioned it again, I think pre-market early for you guys, and then it just popped off all the way to 264, which is a massive move up from, it was like $1 something, right? It goes all the way to 264. Again, this stock, look at the float, it's micro float, 2 million float, high volume explosion. It just popped off. Really happy if you banked. Today was a lot of runners, I'm telling you guys. I saw many runners, and I'm sure a lot of people banked on it. Another example, PMN. This one, if you remember what I said in the previous video on the weekend, remember I talked about how diabetes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, cancer, these type of sectors when it comes to bios make really explosive moves. So if you check PMN, what was the headline today? It was Alzheimer's, and this is just a perfect textbook example of if you watch the videos and see pattern recognition and see the volume, you could really bank big. And everything I say in my videos is not financial advice, but it's just playing out really beautifully, where I mention something or I see a stock, and then the next day it just ends up making beautiful move higher, right? So people could see in live action. So PMN, this stock went all the way up. I think this ran like 200%. I don't know the exact math, but it was a really big win. I think this was the biggest win, along with AIRE. We were on top of both of those stocks. Remember, guys, on YouTube I talked about AIRE and PMN. I mentioned it right at the beginning. If you check the timestamp, right, on Stock Twitch and Twitter. So this was a massive win, and I have a couple of swing trade ideas I'm gonna be going over in this video. I know you guys really love the swing trade ideas, so I'm gonna give a couple every video. I'll try my best. So today, the first one, multi-day setup. This is not in any order of which is better than the other. The first one I would say would be D Pro. This one is a daily chart type of setup. So D Pro is more of the drone type of stock, right? Drone sector. And looking at the daily chart, this is a nice multi-day type of setup, where it's also in a bullish sector, a low float as well. Next stock would be, there's a lot of micro pennies. So micro pennies have been the theme this month. I've seen a lot of them where it's trading under 30 cents. A micro penny is like around 25 cents or under. And WLGS is 5 cents. It's a popular stock, and it's holding that 5 cent psychological level. I really like the volume. That's one of the biggest reasons why I'm mentioning it. But I really want to see over 7 cent wick clear for continuation. And this stock, I believe it's in a Chinese type of sector, a Chinese or Hong Kong, I'm not sure. But this stock, I said in the previous video, remember what I said about the cheap micro pennies in this type of sector make really big moves up randomly. So we want to monitor the stock on your watch list. There's no guarantees, but I'm definitely going to watch this in the coming days. The next one would be NCNA. There's a similar situation where this is a micro penny. This is 5 cents. And this is the exact same situation as the stock I said just a minute ago. WLGS, same thing I want to see. I want to see over 7 cent. And the volume was the number one reason why I'm mentioning it today. I liked it a lot. The volume is great. And this is another micro penny. So another stock you want to watch is VVE. This one I had I think one or two people tag me, and I checked it out. I mean, the daily chart does look like it's ready for a pop, right? This stock has a history of making big moves up, like big pop after period of inactivity, like consolidation channel. And looking at it right now, it does look ready. I really want to see over $1. I think this stock had an offering the previous couple days, and usually when a stock small cap does an offering, they don't usually follow up with another one. I mean, there are some times where that does happen for biotechs. I think APVO, that was one that really liked to do offerings. I think that stock did like 3 offerings in one day, which is really, not the best in my opinion. But this stock, it looks good daily chart. So shout out to you if you mentioned this earlier. I added it to my watch list because you mentioned it, right? So if you guys have any stocks you're interested on, just tag me or message me, guys. I like stocks in general. I have a big watch list every day, and I'll be glad to add it on my watch list. So just tag me, tag the stock, like @ symbol, and then put my username and tag the symbol, and I'll look it up. And I often make videos as well, right, for you guys. So those were the multi-day setups. I have a couple more. Shot, this one SHOT looks really good, to be honest with you. Look at the daily chart. It's just finally breaking over that flat top type of setup. And this is another penny. Pennies are one of my favorite type of setups. I said many times, guys, if you watch my videos, because the percentage moves are a lot bigger compared to a stock that's $30, right? So shot, this one definitely keep on your watch list. Looks like a multi-day runner. Next one, this one RDHL. I think I mentioned it in the morning time. It made a really big move up intraday lunchtime, but then it ended up selling off. But looking at it right now, it does still look like multi-day potential based on the float as well. 1 minute float is very nice. So add RDHL as well in your watch list, guys. And this one is another interesting one. And there's another one, very VERI, another example of a multi-day setup. This one is kind of thin, more on the thin side. So if you like those type of setups, or if it's thin setup, this would be interesting. I believe another one would be VOR. This one I mentioned it again. It's basically Biotech multi-day setup. Next one, ATNF. I think shorts are trapped here, to be completely honest with you. This stock likes to do round trips often in the past, and looking at it right now, it looks like shorts are trapped. Because remember, the stock used to be 88 cents just like 2 days ago. It went to 348, and this is a bio, right? So shorts could get really in a sticky situation here. So add this to your watch list. ATNF. And next one, IXHL, another multi-day setup that looks really beautiful. This going blue sky type of territory, breakout action. Really nice patterns, really nice volume, and it's definitely been a stock that I've been mentioning many times since like 20 cents or very cheap, and it's just almost hit $1 today. Very nice. Next one, LMFA, the same situation as ATNF, same scenario where I think shorts got trapped here. This one is another type of stock that likes to fade once it makes a move up, but seeing that it's continuously holding the previous support as well as resistance breaks, this stock over 5 could definitely squeeze. This reminds me of GCTK. Maybe pre-market it will see a move up, or who knows what if the stock has news. It's in the crypto type of edge as well, right? It's micro floater. LMFA definitely on my watch list. TDTH going off of that is another type of setup you have to keep an eye on. This is again, I believe, crypto space. This is a kind of higher float, 70 million float, but this is a stock that I've been mentioning many times. If you look at the 1 hour chart, it's just going insane. It's just like pulling away, parabolic type of action. So TDTH, definitely a high watch over 2 for multi-continuation. The daily chart definitely is more overextended, to be completely honest with you. But if you remember what I said about on a small cap, it looks like it's too high, right? It tends up going higher, and when it looks like it's like a dip, it just keeps going lower. That's been usually the trend lately this month. So who knows, this stock could keep squeezing more, but it's definitely on my watch list. TDTH, and that's pretty much it for the multi-day setups. I know there's a lot, but if you've been noticing the pattern lately, multi-day setups have been really strong. And it's been the theme, right? Remember open, remember all these stocks. So let's talk quick about TMC and GNS, the stocks that people really like. So TMC made a really nice dip opportunity today. It went all the way down to that whole dollar psychological level, which is $7, and it held actually. And after hours, it made a pretty nice bounce. A bounce like 29-30 cents, which is pretty decent. And looking at it right now, it still looks really nice. Daily chart is still trending, and the volume today wasn't really on the high side. The reason I mentioned volume is because when a stock starts to sell off, type of red candle type of action, if you see a stock has high selling volume, that's not really generally good. But today TMC, the volume wasn't really that high. So I'm going to be talking about GNS right now, branching off of what I said in TMC. So GNS, same situation, where I think a lot of people who are waiting on the sidelines could have gotten in today, where it went all the way to almost 110. It didn't break under $1, thankfully. But I don't, like I said in the previous years, I don't think that the stock's definitely not going to go back towards 50 cents because the interest is just too high based on a lot of people. What I'm seeing on not just social media, but just based on the volume technicals. So I think the stock made a really nice chance for, if you were a bull, maybe to add dips, or if you like the stock, average down, or even get starters, right? So this stock, I do think that it's going to start curling. But we really want to see that base hold, which is really doing nicely. Is holding that base over $1 at $1. And this stock, there's just constant updates on Twitter as well as news outlets. If you're not following, I said in many times, follow the CEO as well as the Kevin Malone on Twitter. Those are their best bets for information, very active information, as well as seeing catalysts, as well as seeing just what's going on with the price action, right? So that's my biggest advice, but not financial advice, right? So GNS, if you're still in the stock, what's your average? Because I remember a lot of people told me on YouTube that the average was really low. I saw some people average was like 60 cents, some said 80 cents, some said it was really good averages, in my opinion. I don't think I've seen a single person said the average was over $5 or like, $4 or $5. So this stock is really looking like it's just forming a stronger base. Honestly, in my opinion, there's really no rush for the stock to go crazy, because as long as it just keeps holding the base, there's even more short fuel, in my opinion. It makes it look weak and then just just pops the top off, right? So GNS, in my opinion, definitely still bullish on it for now, looking at it, and it's still holding the trend. And top of that, constant catalysts. And I like seeing people's thesis on it as well. So guys, write down in the comments more about GNS if you're interested, so I could read it as well and make more videos on it. So guys, if you've been enjoying the videos, I appreciate you, and I think this week is going to be really nice. I said yesterday, right, this week was going to be hot, and today was really nice. So I share these every morning. I'm going to see you guys in the morning time. Let's have a great week, guys. Stockcatcher signing out. Have a great night. Peace.